Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all how to do the assignments that you're going to be working on next. So you will notice our first essential question is how do the major physical features of the United States influence where and how people live? So if you go back to the activity that we just did, so this one right here. So these physical features. So we're going to look at how those physical features actually influence where people live and how people live. So think about the desert. So do a lot of people live near the desert? Not really, because it's so hot. So that's what we're going to look at in these maps. So we're going to do the first map together. So this is a physical map of the US, so those features. And you will also notice that it has elevation on this side. So the green elevation means it's around sea level. So obviously this dark green right here means it's closer to sea level. And then as we head out west, it's going to get higher and higher and higher. Now, one thing I do want to point out is normally most maps have scales. This one does not. It just says map not to scale. So if we scroll down to this one actually has a scale and it shows you how many miles per inch. So make sure when you are looking at maps that you're looking for the title, a scale, and a compass. Remember, compass roses are important. If it doesn't have a compass rose on it, remember you should always draw your own compass rose on it so you know the directions. Okay? So this one, let me enlarge it just a little bit. There we go. So the first one is asking you to name at least 4 mountain regions. Now you will notice here Appalachian Mountains and the Rocky Mountain has the word mountain in it. The Sierra Nevadas, the Coast Ranges, the Cascade Ranges, the Wasatch Range, those are all also mountain ranges. So you would just need to find 4 of them. So I am going to do the Rockies. Now I say Rockies, it is the Rocky Mountain Range, the Appalachian Mountains, the Sierra Nevadas, and the Coast Range. Now you'll notice I didn't put mountains after it or mountain ranges. That's because I know that that's what we're looking for. If you want to write mountains or mountain range after it, that's up to you. Number 2 says name at least 4 rivers on the map of the United States. So obviously the rivers are going to be these blue lines. There again, going back to our little activity that we did, you'll notice that my rivers have almost the same lines as this map does. So you can choose any rivers that you want to, any at all. There's numerous ones. I am going to choose Mississippi, Missouri, Ohio, and Hudson. Okay. So it says, which mountain has the highest elevation? Be sure to look at Alaska and Hawaii. Okay. So if we're looking at these ranges, it gives you numbers beside them. Okay. But it also says to look at Alaska and Hawaii. So if you look in Alaska, Mount McKinley is actually the highest one, and it's 6,194 feet. So we're just going to write Mount McKinley, 6,194. And guys, make sure you put the feet beside of it because sometimes it could be meters, inches, kilometers, whatever. So make sure you put the actual measurement. Okay. Name at least 1 lake west of the Mississippi. So hopefully we all know where the Mississippi River is. It's actually what kind of divides the U.S. from east and west. So here's the Mississippi River right here. And it says name a lake west of that. So there again, if we have a compass, we know that west is going to be over here. Okay. Now I know that there's a Great Salt Lake over here. So I'm just going to write the Great Salt Lake. And then it says name the 2 neighboring countries of the United States. So there are only 2 countries that sit on the border of the United States. And hopefully you know that that is Canada and Mexico. And then describe where the Great Plains are located. So if you look right here, this area right here is the Great Plains. And it's asking you to describe where it's at. So you can't just say it's in the United States. You have to describe where it's at. So for me, I would say it is west of the Mississippi River and east of the Rocky Mountain Range. Whoa. So if you were to actually go on a map that didn't have all of this information in it and it didn't have the Great Plains on it, then you could find the Rocky Mountains, you could find the Mississippi, and know that it was somewhere in between. Okay, so now that we did the first map together, you all are going to have to do the rest of the maps together. Now make sure that you actually look at the maps, ask yourself, what's on this map. Some of them have a few questions, some of them have only one or two questions, but it does show you different aspects of the United States. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know.